size overall is just about $150, but these high-end pawn shops, there are quite a few of them, lend their clients sometimes thousands, even millions. Free winner who overspent now sells things every month to afford her lifestyle. And the home buyer who couldn't get cash quickly enough from a bank for the property he wanted. So he hopped his super expensive watch collection for quick cash needed to seal the deal. These high-end pawnbrokers make their money the same way as their traditional counterparts, but they and their image aren't what you might expect. With the Good Life Report, I'm Tyler Mountain, CBS News Radio 880.
Just get a weekly meal planning so you can save time and actually have fun using Camera Time. An excuses, break out of your recipe set and take the first step towards unstoppable. It's now. Just go to HelloFresh.com/download to get $30 off your first box. That's HelloFresh.com/download for $30 off. HelloFresh.com/download.
Hi, Jamie, Progressive's Employee of the Month, 2 months in a row. Leave a message at the... I think it's me, Jimmy. I've had a new idea for our song, Wasn't in the Right Tool. So when it's like, tell us what you want to say, Trumbo goes blah, 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 and you say, well, define service options that fit your budget. Then, all these finger snaps will acquire those, stations coming at you, stations coming at you. Yes? No? Maybe? Anyway, see your practice tonight. I got news there for the referee.
9:55, time for Money News from Bloomberg, and let's go to Tracy Jockey. Hey, Tracy.
Hey there, Paul and Alex. No snow day for Wall Street, but it might as well be. The Dow is falling 30 points, about 0.1% to 24,696. Nasdaq's down 4 points. The S&P's down 3. No snow day for the Federal Reserve either. It's still meeting today and still releasing a decision on interest rates this afternoon. Many Fed observers expect a rate hike, which could cause some hesitation on Wall Street's part. Boeing is contributing the most to the Dow's loss as the Wall Street Journal reports China is preparing to hit back if President Trump imposes tariffs aimed at Chinese imports. Deere and companies worried about trade retaliation against U.S. corn, soybeans, and other American-grown crops. And the CEO of FedEx says U.S. tariffs are counterproductive to our economy's growth. Business news at 25 and 55 past every hour. Tracy Johnson, Bloomberg Business for WC.
Hello? Hello? Fuck.
Is getting an amazing iPhone 8.
Yeah.
They have an all-black design, advanced cameras.
I'm going to
give your second phone to your new friend. Wow!
Now with one iPhone 8, get the second one on up. Visit your local print store, print.com/iPhone, or call 1-800-Print-1 today. iPhone 6 for iPhone 8, 1 second iPhone 8, after 21 credit card, and the work price to mine, 1 upgrade with the increases in information, or put on 6% of the credit without waiting for the money. The Home Depot has free carpet installation for any carpet purchase over $699. Free installation, as in no hidden fees for moving furniture, ripping out old carpet, carpeting stairs. These other places charge for their free carpet installation. We don't. For carpet installation that really is free, start with carpet from the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid on carpet price $1 or more per square foot. Specialty items may be priced separately. License numbers available at homedepot.com/license numbers. Police Project, Romeo and Juliet, on back in theaters. With a twist on another classic tale. Shut up. And Jonathan. All head over heels. For the biggest little comedy ever known. Sherlock Holmes, Michael, tonight, are you ready to enjoy the work? OCIC is bringing this fly with your favorite stars. A cancer performance by NERD. It's all going down live Saturday, 8 Central on Nickelodeon.
9:58. Traffic and weather together. Back to Jim.
And Alex, back to Westchester County on 684 on the northbound side, right around exit 4, broken down vehicle to watch out for. 684 also has that tractor-trailer van, as does the New York State Thruway, the New England Thruway 287, and also 84. If you're on Long Island, still have problems on the Southern State eastbound near 17S. You've got an accident blocking a lane, and on the eastbound LIE between 35 and exit 36 to Searingtown Road, still have that crash being cleared as well. You got 3 lanes blocked up too. Problems now Brooklyn bound on the Manhattan Bridge on the upper level. Selmy Edwin checking in right around this span. One accident blocking the lane thanks to the update Edwin, and Brooklyn bound Brooklyn Bridge. You've got an accident as well, and that has got a lane blocked. You've got snow-covered roads throughout most of the 5 boroughs. You've got problems in New Jersey on eastbound 80 west of exit 30 in Mount Arlington. A crash that you want to watch out for. Don't forget about the truck ban as well on 78, 82, 82, 87, which includes trailers, RVs, and also motorcycles. Now a forecast from the WCBS Weather Center.
Blowing 31 degrees, northeast wind gusting to 23 miles per hour. Very windy and gets stronger, the wind, and the precipitation, this snow-sleet combo that we have across the area will continue to be heavy at times right through the afternoon. A 6 to 12 inch snowfall with lighter amounts perhaps eastern Long Island, Jersey Shore, as well as northwest New Jersey. Heavier amounts, though, within the bands of 6 to 12, and today's high near freezing.
This is WCBS, WCBS HD, and WCBS FM HD2, New York.
We've got a nor'easter to kick off spring. The worst of it will roll in after lunch and stick around through late tonight. Schools are closed, salt trucks are out, flights canceled. And we'll check in with our team of reporters out in the field just ahead. And while you were sleeping, police tracked down the Austin bomber. He blew himself up at a hotel parking lot. In sports, the Knicks and Nets in action tonight. Right now, it is cold, it is snowing, and it's windy as well. On this Wednesday, March 21st, good morning. I'm Kevin Rincon. CBS News covers the world. Coming up next.
More than just the headlines. This is WCBS News Radio 880. This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A 23-year-old man from suburban Austin has been identified as the Texas serial bomber.
This is the culmination of 3 very long leak-sized vehicles. SWAT officers fired at the suspect as well.
CBS's Omar Fiover.
Austin police and agents here where this person could have been making the bomb.
Police are combing Condit's home in Pflugerville, just north of the city. One neighbor describes it as a run-down house with a lot of people coming and going. 2 were killed, 5 injured in separate explosions this month. In New York City, roads wet and slushy. And they could get more than a foot of snow as the 4th nor'easter of the month arrives. CBS's DeMarco Morgan is in Hagerstown, Maryland.
The snow is expected to pick up throughout the day, and that is a problem for many of the power crews here. That's because the wet and heavy stuff will land on top of some of the tree limbs, causing those power lines to snap. And they are still cleaning up from last week's storm.
Winter storm alerts up from North Carolina to Massachusetts. Rain has begun to fall on the west coast.
This is Steve Futterman in Los Angeles. This storm could be the strongest of the year. Officials are urging people who live in areas prone to mudslides to leave their homes. The biggest concerns are the foothill areas north of L.A. that were ravaged by fires late last year. The hillsides remain largely barren.
A former Playboy model who says she had an affair with President Trump has filed a lawsuit against the owner of the National Enquirer. Karen McDougal's attorney, Peter Striss, tells CBS this morning.
She knew that they were buying her story, and she knew that the National Enquirer was not going to publish it, but she had no idea that she wasn't going to be able to respond to press inquiries.
American media paid McDougal $150,000 and denies her claims. She says her lawyer at the time had secretly negotiated with the president's personal attorney. 4 children are dying in Syria. The country's Observatory of Human Rights says at least 30, mostly children running from their school, have been killed in an airstrike in the rebel-held northern province of Idlib. In early trading, the Dow is down 35 points. This is CBS News.
You have enough things to worry about every day. Insurance shouldn't be one of them. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Tracking the storm. Coverage sponsored by your local Chevy dealers. See their award-winning lineup at ChevyOffers.com.
Right now, we are listening to a press conference going on underway right now about this storm, the 4th nor'easter this month, from Governor Cuomo at the Javits Center. Let's listen in live.
There are 5,500 utility workers ready to deal with any issues from this storm with equipment. As you know, I was very dissatisfied with the response by the utility companies in the last storm. I thought the delays were inexcusable. There is now an investigation going on by the PSC, the Public Service Commission, that oversees the utility, to find out why their response was inadequate. And depending on that review, the sanctions, and also remember, utility companies licensed by God. It's not in the Old Testament that these utility companies have to have the license. If they're not performing for New Yorkers, they can lose their license. And we are fully prepared to do that. We have tractor trailers and in effect from the Pennsylvania line to the Connecticut line, 684 from I-80 towards Hudson River Parkway, New York State Thruway from I-84 to exit 1, which is the New York City line, I-287 from exit 1 to exit 12, I-95 New York City line to the Connecticut line. The storm will get worse as the days proceed. Don't be fooled. Don't look out the window today and say, well, it doesn't look so bad. It's going to get worse as the day goes on. If you don't have to travel, please don't be on the road. We've learned this lesson time and time again. People leave their house, weather doesn't look that threatening. It gets worse as the day goes on. People get stuck. Once you have one car stuck, it backs up. And we have multiple pieces of equipment and personnel. Let them do their job today and road so we can get back to work as quickly as possible. If you don't have to travel, please don't travel.
You already said that.
We redeployed access to the downstate area. We have 300 National Guard who have been redeployed to the area. We have generators, light towers, sandbags, meals, water bottles. We've brought down 350 additional large plow trucks, 50 loaders, 30 tons of salt, and as I mentioned, 5,500 utility workers who will be ready. If a person is in a situation where they have an emergency, where they need to get out of their home, where they're stuck, where they're without power, we have a toll-free hotline, 866-697-2434, where people can get updates on shelters and emergency needs. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize the National Guard who are here. They do outstanding work for us. Every time this state has a problem or an emergency, we go to the National Guard. They always respond. They leave their jobs, they leave their families, and they come out to help people all across the state. Whether it's Hurricane Sandy, snowstorms, floods. I've been with these ladies and gentlemen in all sorts of situations, and they are extraordinary. They're extraordinary in their capacity. They're extraordinary in their generosity. We tend to think of the National Guard day to day as responding to situations like today. They also respond and are deployed. Obviously, go to those four families that are suffering at this time, and it's a reminder of the sacrifice that the National, all the men and women in armed services who rise to the occasion time and time again. And it's a reminder that this nation is deploying people in very dangerous situations.
Getting a chance there to hear from Governor Cuomo with an update on the storm. He says the storm is to be taken seriously. His message is, if you don't have to drive, please don't. He mentions there is the threat of power outages as the winds start to pick up as well. We'll get a look at the forecast in a second, but first, let's take a look at the roads, traffic and weather together. We start with Jim Feldman.
Thanks, Jimmy.